was just sharing my story a bit over the last couple of days with the Real Youth program that partnered with K5 Key. So she's been following me around for 2 days, her and her team, and just documenting and a time of reflection of where I came from. Before my mom left, her last words to me was, "Learn your language." And I thought, how am I going to do that? You're leaving me. How am I going to do that? Let dam lek dao gibao duayu. My wolf name is Wolf Sitting on the Ice. Let dam lek dao gibao. Kitsum kalam di wils agu. My nagetgu, my family, is really important to me. I grew up with my parents, my aunties, as advisors. Growing up, we shared this cabin as a family cabin. I wasn't allowed to do a lot of things, so I couldn't wait to be an adult so that I could help. And now we live in that cabin. My older siblings are the elders, and now my children and grandchildren get to learn from them. A lot of the children now have a voice, whereas growing up, I didn't have a voice. I was told to be quiet. I was told not to say anything. My teachings were not detailed. They didn't explain. They didn't talk in detail. Well, why? And even to ask why, I was scared to ask why. And they would say, just because you don't, with how we were taught. That's how we were raised. Because I wasn't allowed to speak, I wasn't allowed to talk. I missed out on learning our language at a young age. Because of residential school and Indian day school, I was encouraged while I was growing up to learn and profess in English so that we can survive in a non-native world. There was one minister that came over, and he learned some of our language from our parents. You think that would have got my attention then? I was like, okay, if he could learn it, I should start learning, right? But my older sister worked in an office, and so that's the career that I chose, is to be like her. And right now she's our matriarch today, and so I'm still learning from her. Now, 50 years later, I'm learning our Somali language. We have elders in our fluent language program at Kitsum Kalam, and just to hear their speaking, I can hear my parents speaking our language. Our vision for our youth is to attend a graduation where they're introducing themselves in Somali. They're talking about what they're doing in our language, and that we get to understand it all one day. It just gives me so, it gives me so much pride to hear our Somali being spoken by all the young people, and knowing that I know some of it and that I could answer them in Somali, and also converse with my daughter who's way ahead of me. And so they become, like I said, our kids. Well, our youth become our teachers, our Siwalauksits. I feel like I'm a junior elder in training, and I've been saying it for a while, like a matriarch in training. I do a lot of community work, and I do a lot of family business. At one of our feasts, my sister talked to me and told me that I would like to name you the successor for Sigimnash Bisoon. And I was like, wow. So many things they take into consideration when they're looking for their successor. She says, you're doing the work already. You're just going to carry on. I work beside our matriarch, and I speak for our matriarch out in the community and out in public. And she always says, if you can help it, take someone with you, because that's training for them as well. You get so busy in everyday life, in your work life, in your family life, in your community life, in your public life. You wear so many hats. And I always heard my mom saying that, but I didn't think I'd be here doing it, many years later. So to our exit Newsom, thank you all very, very much for this honor. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.